When we read a story, then we want to get emotionally involved. We want to identify with the people. We want to be able to relate to what is happening in that story. We want to see a connection between what we read and our own lives. And if this is not the case, we might just close the book and throw it away. I think, in case of Shooting an Elephant by George Orwell, it is extremely easy for each and every one of us, for every reader, to identify with Orwell, to relate to what is happening in that story. Because I believe that each and every one of us, we have all been in a similar situation. Of course, I'm not talking about the decision to shoot or not shoot an elephant. No, I'm talking about feeling under pressure, feeling being pressured by expectations of other people. Because that is the situation that Orwell finds himself in. When he confronts the elephant, he calls it a sea of yellow faces. Many, many Burmese behind him. They're pressuring him. Not in a physical sense. They're not necessarily a physical threat. No. He feels being pressured by their expectations. Remember, in the end, he says, I did it because I didn't want to look like a fool. So it was more important for him that the Burmese do not consider him as weak, as indecisive. That was more important for him than doing what he, deep inside, what he knew would be the right thing, not to kill the elephant. His reputation, that was what motivated him. It was his hope that if he would meet the expectations of the Burmese, he would come across as strong, as decisive, as powerful, and because of that, his status among them would change. His reputation, as I said, would grow. The relationship between him and the Burmese would improve. His whole life would get better among them. So what happens when the animal is dead? Do they carry him on their shoulders, hailing him as their savior from that wild beast? Well, they couldn't care less about him. They ignore him. They rush by him straight to the dead elephant because the only thing they're concerned about is the meat. And I think this is the message of that story. If you worry too much what other people think of you, you lose the ability to think for yourself. You lose self-respect if you act against your own better judgment only to meet expectations of other people. I think Orwell gave a very, very good impression, a very, very good analysis of this whole scenario. He called it a show, a performance. The Burmese, the audience, just like in a theater, and he, the star on the stage, the man in charge, the man with all the power because of the gun. But that was just an illusion. He might have been the star of the show, but he was not calling the shots. He was not the director of the show. He was just like a puppet on the string. It was the Burmese who were calling all the shots, who were controlling him and his decisions. So in the end it remains, if you give up control over your life, you will not lead a fulfilled life. if you fight hard, if you struggle to keep control over your life, which of course it's not easy. And all what I just said is easier said than it's actually done in reality. But if you struggle, if you fight to maintain control over your life, then this, I believe, is the road, not necessarily to a happy life, but it is the road to a fulfilled life. And this is what I wish for everybody who's watching and listening, a fulfilled life.